So families have been formed. Rose walked us through that in the last episode, which was episode 1. So what happens after the formation? And we are talking about the legal formation of a family. My name is Margaret Njihia. I'm a licensed psychologist. I'm also a child therapist with Sterling Wellness Center. And we are happy to have Rose back with us despite her busy schedule. Thank you so much, Rose, for making time.
Thank you
How
so
was
much for
your
having
week?
me. Oh, the week has been great.
Mhm.
I'm so happy the rain has come. So, yeah, it's a good thing.
It's a good
Yes,
thing.
yes.
And going on well, doing what you do best.
Oh, yes.
All
Trying our
right.
very best.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
To keep families together,
To
to
keep
help
families in as much harmony as we
Mhm.
possibly can.
All
Yes.
right. My week has been nice as well, doing
Yes.
what I do.
Uh-huh.
I love what I do. In my
Right.
other life, I still want to do what I am doing.
Keeping families healthy.
Keeping families healthy and
All right.
thriving.
Yes.
So as we continue in our series of family matters, and we are talking about where the law meets life. So you walked us through the formation of the family.
Correct.
And as a psychologist, I also remember the multicultural aspect of it when it comes to families, the traditions, the values, and the cultures. And one of the things I hear a lot in weddings, I love attending weddings,
Right.
and one of the things I hear a lot is the man is told you're the head of the family. And the young lady getting married has no idea what they're getting themselves into, is told you're the neck, and the neck cannot go above the head.
Right.
And I hear young people say, but the neck is the one that twists and decides which direction the
direction
head
to
is
face.
going to face. So Rose, help us understand, are there obligations legally for this man
Yes.
and for this wife? And maybe towards the end of this episode, you'll also walk us through. So then what happens in like the single parent headed household?
Okay.
But what does the law say?
What an interesting aspect you bring in about the heads and the neck. Huh? I'll say this. Under the law, what it does say, again, interestingly, in the Constitution, and the Constitution is a very important book for Kenyans, because that's where it all starts when we talk about law. So, in the Constitution, it says the parties getting married are equal at the time of the marriage, during the course of their marriage, and even at the end of their marriage. So,
Do you want to repeat that?
yes, the Constitution under Article 45 says this, that when people get married, they are equal under the law at the time that they get married, during the subsistence of their marriage, and even after their marriage is over. So, under the law, parties are said to have equal rights. Okay? Therefore, and you see, roles are different from rights. And what you are talking about, of course, is the roles that people might play once they have united together into a family. And the law will not intrude in that space. It will not say you're the one who must go to work while this one stays at home. If they decide that the wife is the one who will be the breadwinner and the husband will stay home and take care of the children, that is for them to decide. The law will not come in and say, it is supposed to be any different. But the law protects both of those parties, so that if there is any rights that are not being fulfilled, then each of them can go before the law and they will be heard as people who are equal in the law. Having said that, so we must differentiate between the roles and rights under law. Okay? Now, having said
So
that,
what we know are the roles.
yes, what we know are the roles.
The way we are socialized.
Correct. It has nothing to do, I mean, the law will not prescribe what you must do or what he must do in the marriage. You are at liberty to choose for yourselves and to agree how we're going to run our family and who's going to do what. Yeah. However, if one person is being completely overburdened, and I'm sure we'll talk about that when we talk about children, then that can be a cause for alarm, because again, we are saying they are equal and there are certain expectations during marriage. And there would be, for example, the right to intimacy. You know, once you get married, then there is the right that you're giving one another to intimacy, what we call conjugal rights. And so you will hear when there's disharmony and somebody maybe has gone to file for a divorce and they're saying, I'm not getting my conjugal rights, because it does become a right during the marriage. It's a whole debate and people have talked about it, whether there can be rape within marriage. But the law does expect that there will be what we call consortium or what we call conjugal rights. The other right that the law recognizes of people who get married to one another is that there will be maybe, they get lucky and there is the wealth creation. Okay, they may get things, they may get another home, maybe land, maybe vehicles. So the ownership rights within the marriage. Okay. So that's also something that is recognized. Yeah, and also the right, of course, not to be put down in the various things. Not to be the beast of burden, or on the other hand, to be the person who has no voice within that created family.
Yes. Sitting and listening to you and, appreciating our African culture and our aunties as the ladies are getting married and the uncles, and what happens when people do the bridal showers and the kind of things that women and young girls are told. And I'm just thinking, there's a possibility that some of the issues that you're presented before you as a family lawyer, and the same issues presented before as a psychologist, and when we are talking about marriage and family therapy, is actually lack of this knowledge and information about obligations when it comes to the roles of a man, the roles of a woman as ascribed by the society, the roles of a father when it comes to parental responsibilities, and the role of a mother when it comes to parental responsibilities and the rights. And I think just that lack of that knowledge and that awareness, Rose, is probably, among many other things, some of the challenges that families are faced with, because no one ever takes us to school to teach us how to be.
It's true.
How
It's
to
true,
get
Maggie.
married.
And sometimes it's not to say that there's no place for those roles. And again, it's true. Our grandparents and their grandparents before them did know something that we probably don't. And those roles played a great part at that time. Talk about hunters and gatherers, isn't it? Maybe the men would go out to hunt because strength-wise and body-wise, they might be the stronger ones to go out. Then we'll have the moms maybe stay home and do their nurturing roles. So even as we talk about law meeting life, we are not bashing the roles, but but all I want to emphasize is that those roles will not be prescribed
by the law.
Yeah, they have their place, and sometimes they may work, but it's also important, even as we are speaking to our young men and our young women, not to create the kind of families that then end up having either one, a beast of burden, or two, a subservient doormat who feels or thinks she hasn't got a voice within that union that has been created.
And I think, thank you so much for bringing this out, because I think the other lesson is the need to consult professionals before the family formation. The need to even want to sit down with a family lawyer and just go through some of these things so that you know what you're getting yourself to, and probably to also emphasize the need for premarital counseling. So thank you so much. We'll keep it here. We want to continue to learn, and I'm sure you have a lot more, like you explained in the introduction, the place of the children, wealth creation, how this family, how can I exit from a family? And so keep it here. As we come back, we continue to learn more from our, highly seasoned guest, Rose Mbanya from RW Mbanya and Company Advocates. She's a family lawyer with over 27 years of work experience. I don't think at Sterling Wellness Center we can get a better person to walk us through this.
You're very
and then
kind.
later we'll be looking at the psychology aspect into the family.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much, Rose.
Thank you, Maggie. Thank you.